Thank you. The comp store sales is an important indicator as well. Comp store sales up 3.2%. That is comparable store sales, and it is here better than expected as well. Joining us right now is Retail and Sales Analyst Erin Sykes. And Erin, it's good to have you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. Raising guidance, comp store sales better than expected, earnings better than expected, revenue pretty close to the estimate but lower. So maybe that's a miss. Your reaction?
I absolutely expected this because Walmart is the best indicator of consumer health, far better than Amazon, because Amazon is driven so much by the cloud. So you have Walmart doing really well in terms of utilizing its logistics, what's already in place. The fact that they already have shipping and warehousing and stores, distribution really laid out over Amazon is a huge win. Of course, Walmart needs to catch up in the tech game, but Amazon needs to catch up in all of those logistics.
It seems, though, as far as the e-commerce, though, it really is Amazon versus Walmart. I heard you say you consider them differently, which I understand. To your point, you know, Amazon gets so much of its revenue from cloud. But I mean, this kind of give me my groceries within 2 hours, give them to me for free. I mean, they are both locked in a dead heat, right, in this battle. I mean, Walmart is holding its own, and I see U.S. growth looks good. UK and Canada, as expected, a little bit weaker.
Well, you have Walmart growing in .com 30+% every single quarter, whereas Amazon is really looking outside of .com into other businesses right now. So they're spread pretty thin. So Walmart can really hone in on building its technology, utilizing the foundation and the structure and the logistics that already exist. And then they are rivals, but I think Walmart is winning here.
Okay, and maybe as people become even more cost conscious, right, that in theory should benefit Walmart to the point where Amazon is even talking about opening perhaps a discount grocery chain if Whole Foods is too fancy, what the joke goes, a whole paycheck. Right?
It took a while, but they caught up. I mean, Walmart did their Walmart.com. You know, they weren't there initially, but the Walmart.com execution seemed to work well. Steve.
It did, and I think people are surprised at it because it's very hard for a major company to make that kind of transition without a lot of blood on the floor and red ink until they get their act together. But I think they realized one of the things I think helped them, they have always had a very sophisticated supply chain around the world. So this was not new to them. They could make that transition, I think, better than a lot of more traditional retailers because they were into tech, going back to Sam Walton, who recognized in the early 60s that if you manage your with the software, you could beat the big guys. Remember, the Kmart was 50 times the size of Walmart in the early 60s. They realized, use the software better, by golly, they can beat them at their own game, and they're continuing to do so.
Backing up what you just said here, so I'm looking now, e-commerce sales grew at 41% in the
big
quarter.
Number.
That's a big number and a lot stronger than what most analysts were looking for.
So what does this tell us about the retail sort of environment here? Because we've been talking all morning about the strength of the consumer. We're getting retail sales out tomorrow. The Commerce Department's going to be reporting those figures for the month of October. Last month's report fell below analyst expectations. There were store closures, tariffs, weakening sales, brick and mortar outlets really took a toll on the sector. So it's real important that we see an uptick in sales this month because the month before was weaker than expected. What's your expectation?
Agreed. Now, that said, Q3 is always pretty, or Q2 is always pretty weak into Q3. What we really look at in retail is holiday. It's Q4. So some red flags that you can look for retailers that might not perform so well is starting sales extraordinarily early. There are some retailers that were even coming out 2-3 weeks ago with their Black Friday sales.
Isn't that because there's this shorter time period, which I know is psychological, but I've heard a lot of retailers talk about it, that there are fewer shopping days between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
But stronger retailers won't put out those sales 2 or 3 or 4 weeks early, maybe a day or two early. But overall, I think that we're still in this Darwinistic type of situation where the Macy's and the Sears, the Curates are going to fall off by the wayside, but then the stronger retailers, Target, Amazon, and Walmart, apparently, you know, it's really, they're just winning. They're crushing it.
Is there anything, though, that other retailers that are failing can learn from Walmart? Or is it just a totally different model?
I think that there's a ton that they can learn. They really learned how to do what we've been talking day in and day out about, bringing your customer full circle, creating an in-store experience that's synergistic to the .com experience, getting that last mile delivery honed in. So I think that everyone can take a lesson, including Amazon can take a lesson from Walmart.
Do you see a change in the demographic of people who are shopping at Walmart from what you've seen 5 years ago?
Absolutely. It's an uptick. So the average in-store sale at Walmart is about $90. The average pickup at Walmart is about $150. So the people that are coming to pick up their groceries or to pick up their items that they've pre-ordered are significantly higher net worth than those in store.
Sounds like you're not worried about this slowdown that we saw in CapEx and the slowdown that we're seeing in manufacturing in terms of the overall growth story of the economy because of the consumer.
Absolutely. It's a pivot, and we see this all the time. Certain parts of the economy are doing stronger than others. Right now, the consumer is winning.
All right, we will leave it there. Erin, it's great to have you. Thanks so much.
you.
Erin Sykes joining us there on Wall.